that brings it back to, the simple things that people can do. They can see where the motivation is. They can see what their own bias is going into it, and little clues like the misspellings or an emotional headline.
Yeah,
Those are things that, sure, an actual news article could have an emotional headline and might, because they do want you to click on it, but it's something that should have you go into reading that article with skepticism, just to say, like, I mean, we should all behave like every day is April Fool's Day. On April Fool's Day, everyone's like, wait a second, is this true? Am I falling for this? And that, unfortunately, should be how we kind of approach all news,
yeah.
especially on social media.
Perhaps one of the things worth pointing out as well is everyone, even a good journalist, can get taken in.
Hmm.
There have been foreign news outlets which have reported Onion stories, and if
Hmm.
you aren't familiar with the Onion, it's a satirical website. But if you don't have English as your first language, if you're not familiar with this website, they've actually had journalists in other countries not realize it
Right,
and
exactly.
reported a story from there. That actually is a thing, and that's a thing worth noting. If if an organization is willing to go, wait a minute, we're sorry we did this, our bad, this is actually what's the truth, that's actually more important than someone just digging their feet in saying we're infallible, because nobody is.
Right. And I think that that's important for each one of us to do as well. I came across one of my memories on Facebook the other day where I had shared something several years ago that wasn't actually true.
Oh
And
no, really?
I mean, it wasn't like an inflammatory news article or anything, but I think it was like a photo that had been photoshopped, and I thought it was real, and I shared it. And as I was going through the memories, no one had called me out on it, so maybe everyone else thought it was real as well. But I saw it and I said, I fell for it. Like, now, after like years of dealing with fake news on social media, I'm a little bit better at discerning it. Um, but anyone can fall for it.
Yeah, it is actually, it can be really hard in that respect. um Anyone can do it. I have to admit, I've been you know kind of up on this for years. I could probably get taken in if it was good enough.
Right.
I tend to have a very healthy skepticism, but even I have started reading what I realized was a biased article and had to stop myself because my own confirmation bias was kicking in, and I wasn't willing to listen to what someone was saying because they were saying something I didn't like.
Right. And that's important. It's not something to beat yourself up about, to say, oh, I had a confirmation bias, because we all do. So
Yeah.
I think the important thing is to, like you would expect a newspaper to print a redaction if they printed something wrong. And that's, that's a noble way to go about it. And I think that we all need to be a little bit more like that with ourselves, to say, oh, I shared this cat photo that isn't actually a cat, or whatever it was. I think it
Yeah.
was a raccoon standing on its hind legs, and it wasn't actually.
Correct.
But regardless, you know, I think we all need to be a little bit more forgiving, instead of digging in our heels and saying, like, well, I said this, so I need to stand by it. I think it's important to say, oh, I do have a confirmation bias. Oh, I did share something incorrect, and to set the example for others that, we all fall for it, and it's important to just make sure that we're aware of it.
I think that is a brilliant sentiment idea, and probably a great note for us to kind of wrap up on.
Well, we hope that you all enjoyed this and learned something from it, and maybe we'll share it with others to keep everyone informed and using that information going forward. And stay tuned for more exciting stuff from the Coventry Public Library.